I'm going to be completing this assignment on a Mac, but if you're completing it on a PC, you are welcome to do that. It just may look different in places, and I'll try and note that. So you're going to go ahead and launch Word, and I will, there we go. Okay, and I'll go to blank here. Okay, and I'm going to make this big so you can see what I'm doing. And the first thing we want to do is save this into our OneDrive. So regardless of where you're working, this is what you want to do. So we're going to click Save, and then you want to make sure you're using the OneDrive that's connected with your email. So it's your OneDrive. So just go ahead and double click that so you see all your folders here. And then up here where it says Save As, just name it Guess Who. Okay. Now that we're here is change our page margins so that we have more room to type going up and down the page. So the smaller your page margins, the more room you have on the page. The larger, the less room. So we're going to go to Layout, Custom Margins, and you're going to make your top and bottom margins just a little bit smaller. And for some reason, the printer that I have, it's like some random printer, says that that's out of range. So just hit fix if that pops up. But if you're connected to my room computers, it shouldn't be that way. Okay, then click OK. All right, we're going to then change our line spacing. So go to your home ribbon and go here to line spacing. And if you're on the Dells, you need to choose one, and then below here you'll have an option to add or remove space. So choose remove space, or you can just click no spacing and that'll make it directly one. This is also where if your teacher tells you to double space something, this is where you would choose that. Okay. Then we're going to insert a header. So did I click that? Yeah. Go to Insert, Header, and choose blank. Now, we want this to be right aligned. We want our initials and our period to be right aligned. So we're going to go to the home ribbon and then either choose right align, which is that right there, or you can do Command R or Control R if you're working on the Dell, and then type your 3 initials and the hour that you're in. So I don't know, or the period. Okay. To get out of header and footer, you can either click header and footer and click close header and footer, or just double click inside your Word document and it should close that. So now your header is gray, but that's just, it won't print that way. It's just showing you that your header, that's in your header. Okay, now we're going to turn our caps lock on and type the alphabet going down the page. So A. Okay, after you're done doing that, do Control or Command A to select all, and you're going to change your font type. You choose your font. I just wouldn't choose if they still have like black oak or something hard to read. I would choose something that's pretty easy to read. I'm going to choose this chalkboard here, and you're going to bold it, underline it, and try and make it like size 18 or maybe even 19. So like if I choose 18, that's probably pretty good. So I'm going to stick with 18. Well, maybe I could do 19. That way, in case I choose a bigger font later, then it stays on one page. Okay, so for this, you're going to come up with, then you're going to italicize and highlight your initials in the alphabet. So my initials are AMC. If I have a repeating letter like A, then I have to just do the A this way. So I'm just going to select the A, turn on italicize, or Control I or Command I will work, and then highlight it. You choose the highlight color. It's up to you. And then find your next initial. Do the same. And then your third initial. All right. So this document is to describe you, but you shouldn't use your name. It's not just a random listing of words. So no one in here is an octopus or a zebra or a xylophone or is yellow. So please don't put that, like, neither any of you guys YouTube watcher, something like that. So it can be a word or a phrase or something like that. So for A, I could just simply put, so before I type, I want to turn all this stuff off, except for highlighting. You always just have to go back and take that off. So I could type awesome. And that is a descriptive word, and then I would unhighlight it, no color. Or I could talk like Yoda here. So before I type in B, I'm going to unbold and ununderline. Sorry, that's opposite of what I just did there. Or I can just do Control B or Command, hold down on Command or Control and strike B and U, and it would unbold and underlined. Okay, so brothers, I have 2. I could like state a title here that I am. Computer teacher, I could put computer teacher I am, or computer teacher pretty much describes me. I could be kind of silly. Or it could just be as simple like whatever. Okay, so and you don't have to like work, like if you can't come up with B, you're just stopped and waiting for till you come up with something for B. Like move on, like you can skip around on the alphabet. You do need to have at least 5 different font types. So we already have 1. So I could highlight Fixer Upper and I could change that font type. Don't choose any like symbols or anything. Choose that one. And then I'm going to change my font color here. Okay. So you also need 5 different font colors. Black doesn't count. The only things that should be bolded and underlined and highlighted are your initials. So like it can be as simple as a letter. So I can highlight the K and change that to blue. And then underline, unbold, type a capital U, make it red. And then I could make this like a different shade of red. As long as it's different, I don't really care. There, done. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different font colors and 2 different font types. Okay, so you would complete that. And again, can you do more? Absolutely. Now we need to do pictures. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to hit save here just in case something happens, and I'm going to minimize or make this a little bit smaller so I can see my Google. I'm going to go over to Google and I'm going to type in Jayhawk logo images there. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one. And you got to make sure you're in this box. And I'm going to double finger click and choose copy image. In my Word document, I'm going to go back and make sure nothing is selected. Like if you have a word selected, it'll put it in place. And I'm going to do Command V to paste it. Now when I paste it, it comes in as text. And it adds an extra space in between, so we always have to delete that. So I click that, so it's like I typed something really big here between H and I. So if you're on a PC, you should have something up here in the corner, and you can just click the horseshoe and choose in front of text, but here apparently you have to go to wrap text. Okay. Oh, sorry. Under wrap text, you have to choose in front of text. There we go. Okay. So now it's covering up some of my letters, so I'll just make it a lot smaller here. I'm going to move it kind of out to the side here. Okay, now I need to cite my source. So I'm going to go to Insert. Here, I'm going to make this big again so you can see it. Shapes. I'm going to choose this text box here. Drop below my guy. And then I'm going to make this smaller again. Now, I need to find the source. Google is never a source. Google is what we call a search engine. The only image they put on the internet is like their logo and then any of those like fun images where, you know, like if it's President's Day, they put those fun images of the president. But they search, you tell it what you want to find, and they search for it. So this is not your source. This is Logos Discovery Engine. So I can just go to visit. So here's when I clicked view source, it's the same thing. So you can either click on the image or view source. I'm going to select the website, Command C or Control C, or double finger click and choose copy. Then go to your Word document and do Command V, and it will paste it there. If it's a super long website, you can make this font smaller. So you could just select it. And now this is me saying I am okay for this project, but this is how you cite this source. I have had kids that have put a big text box down at the bottom and put their sources. So if that's what you choose to do, they just kind of put one of these down here and they put Jayhawk logo or Jayhawk, and then gave me their source. And then they put computer and gave me a source. The Gaines family gave me a source, whatever it is. All right, as you're working, your computer should save, but you can just either do Control S or click the Save button. Now, when you're done, you need to submit it in Canvas, and then you need to print it. So it's going to look different depending here. And then I'm also not at school, so I don't know what my printer names are called right now, but those are listed above the board. So you can click here, and if you're working on a Dell, you would go to, or a PC, you'd go to File, Print. I'm just going to click this, and then choose the printer that is the color printer. Make sure it's only going to print one page. It should say 1 of 1. If it says like 1 of 2, then go back and fix like some of your size of your font so that it stays on one page. And then you would hit print. Good job.